This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, students. Coming to this laws of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump. At section 1, we calculate the specific energy E1 is equal to Y1 plus small q square divided by 2z into Y1 square. At section 2, the specific energy after the hydraulic jump E2 is equal to Y2 plus small q square divided by 2z into Y2 square. Then the loss of energy delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. By substituting the values of E1, E2 on the right side, then the simplification of right hand side, you will get this loss of energy delta E is equal to. So here the loss of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump delta E is equal to E1 minus E2. E1 is Y1 plus Q square by 2Z Y1 square minus E2 is Y2 plus Q square by 2Z Y2 square. So take this on the right hand side, that discharge Q terms in one side. So it becomes as Q square by 2Z Y1 square minus Q square by 2Z Y2 square plus Y1 minus Y2. Then in the right side, from the first two terms, take Q square by 2Z common, and in the remaining two terms on the right side, take minus common. So delta E is equal to Q square by 2Z into 1 by Y1 square minus 1 by Y2 square minus of Y2 minus Y1. Then in the first term on the right side, take Y1 square and Y2 square as LCM. So the first term becomes as Q square by 2Z into Y2 square minus Y1 square by Y1 square into Y2 square minus of Y2 minus Y1. We know that in hydraulic jump of rectangular channel, Q square by Z is equal to. We discussed that in the previous classes. In hydraulic jump of rectangular channel, Q square by Z is equal to Y1 by 2 into Y1 Y2 plus Y1 divided by 2. But here you have Q square by 2Z. So Q square by 2Z is equal to Y1 Y2 into Y2 plus Y1 divided by 4. Substitute that on the right hand side. Then the equation becomes as delta E is equal to Y1 by 2 into Y2 plus Y1 by 4 into Y2 square minus Y1 square by Y1 square into Y2 square minus of Y2 minus Y1. Then in this right hand side, cancel this Y1 Y2 first. Cancel in the first term Y1 Y2 first. Then this first term becomes as Y2 plus Y1 into Y2 square minus Y1 square divided by 4 Y1 Y2 minus of Y2 minus Y1. Then take this 4 Y1 Y2 as LCM for the entire right hand side. Take this 4 Y1 Y2 as LCM for the entire right side. Then this right side becomes as Y2 plus Y1 into Y2 square minus Y1 square minus 4 Y1 Y2 into Y2 minus Y1 by 4 Y1 Y2. Expand this numerator in the right hand side. Expand that numerator, you will get that numerator on the right hand side as Y2 cube minus Y1 square Y2 plus Y2 square Y1 minus Y1 cube minus 4 Y2 square Y1 plus 4 Y1 square Y2. Then observe these two terms, 4 minus 4 Y2 square Y1 and plus Y2 square Y1. Observe these two terms, minus 4 Y2 square Y1 and plus Y2 square Y1. You will get from these two terms the result as minus 3 Y2 square Y1. Then the remaining two terms, Y1 square Y2 minus plus 4 Y1 square Y2, from the two terms you will get it as plus 3 Y1 square Y2. Then this numerator on the right side becomes as Y2 cube minus 3 Y2 square Y1 plus 3 Y1 square Y2 minus Y1 cube divided by 4 Y1 Y2. This numerator is a minus b whole cube form. A minus b whole cube is equal to a cube minus 3 a square b plus 3 ab square minus b cube. So in the numerator we have that a minus b whole cube formula. So this numerator is written as y2 minus y1 whole cube divided by 4 y1 y2. This is the equation 3. The equation 3 is the loss of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. So if the hydraulic jump is formed in the rectangular channel, the loss of energy of water flow in that hydraulic jump in terms of the depth of water flow y1 y2. Y1 is the depth of water flow before the hydraulic jump in the supercritical condition in the rectangular channel. Y2 is the depth of water flow in the after the hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel in subcritical condition. So the loss of energy of water flow in hydraulic jump in rectangular channel, delta E is equal to y2 minus y1 whole cube by 4y1 y2. This is one equation for delta E. Here that delta E is calculated by using the depth of water flow y2 and y1. We have the another equation for delta E, the loss of energy delta E. That equation is in terms of the velocity of water flow V1 and V2. We know that before the hydraulic jump, the velocity is V1. After the hydraulic jump, the velocity is V2. In terms of that velocities V1, V2 also, you can prepare that equation for loss of energy delta E. Now I am going to discuss with you what is that loss of energy delta E in the hydraulic jump in terms of the velocity of water flow V1 and V2. Please coming to that discussion. We know that here we consider the channel as a rectangular channel. The width is B. Take between the section 1 and section 2 the discharge of water flow as Q, capital Q. At section 1 in the supercritical condition that the velocity of water flow is V1, and at section 2 in the subcritical condition that the velocity of water flow is V2. Take the discharge per unit width. Since it is a rectangular channel, take the discharge per unit width small q is equal to capital Q by V. Since the channel is rectangular channel, at section 1 the wetted area A1 is equal to B into Y1, width into depth of flow. At section 2 the wetted area B into Y2. You know that the discharge per unit width small q is equal to capital Q by V. According to continuity equation, the discharge q is equal to area into velocity A1 V1 by V. And also at section 2 the discharge q is equal to A2 V2. So this equation becomes as the discharge per unit width small q is equal to capital Q by V, that is equal to A1 V1 by V, that is also equal to A2 V2 by V. Since the channel is rectangular channel, A1 is equal to B into Y1, A2 is equal to B into Y2, substitute them in this right hand side, then this small q is equal to A1 B into Y1 into V1 by B, that is equal to A2 B into Y2 into V2 by B. Cancel this B in the two terms, then this discharge small q per unit width small q is equal to y1 v1 and followed by y2 v2. So from this equation the depth y1 is equal to small q by v1, the depth y2 is equal to small q by v2. So the equation 4 gives us the depth of water flow before the hydraulic jump in terms of the velocity v1 and the discharge per unit width small q, q by v1, and y2 is equal to q by v2. Now we are going to discuss what is the equation of delta E in terms of the velocity of water flow v1 and v2. For that, coming to the section 1, at section 1 we know the specific energy E1. The specific energy E1 at section 1 is y1 plus v1 square by 2z. At section 2 the specific energy after the hydraulic jump V2 is equal to y2 plus v2 square by 2z. So the loss of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. What is E1? Y1 plus V1 square by 2z. What is E2? Y2 plus V2 square by 2z. Expand this right hand side. So delta E is equal to Y1 plus V1 square by 2z minus Y2 minus V2 square by 2z. That is this delta E. So the loss of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump delta E is equal to Y1 plus V1 square by 2z minus. Is my voice audible to you? Please give me the response. Is my voice audible to you?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Coming to the derivation of delta E in terms of the velocity of water flow, not in terms of the depths. Just now we discussed the loss of energy in terms of the depth of flow y1 y2. Now I am going to discuss with you the loss of energy in terms of the velocity of flow. So delta E is equal to E1 minus E2. E1 is y1 plus v1 square by 2z and E2 is y2 plus v2 square by 2z. So this right hand side becomes as delta E is equal to y1 plus v1 square by 2z minus y2 minus v2 square by 2z. Then take these two terms in one side, remaining terms on the other side. This equation becomes as delta E is equal to, here we have v1 square by 2z minus v2 square by 2z. So this 2z is LCM. So these two terms combining together becomes as v1 square minus v2 square by 2z minus of y2 minus y1. So from this equation you will get this equation 5. Then coming to this discussion, you know that y2 is equal to, just now we discussed in the rectangular channel, the depth y2 is equal to small q divided by v2, and the depth y1 is equal to small q divided by v1. Substitute y2 is equal to q by v2 and y1 is equal to q by v1 in the equation 5. The equation 5 changes as the loss of energy delta E is equal to v1 square minus v2 square by 2z minus of the depth y2 is q by v2, depth y1 is q by v1. Then simplify this second term on the right side by taking this q as common from the two terms. Then this equation becomes as delta E is equal to v1 square minus v2 square by 2z minus q into this small q from the two terms. That's q into 1 by v2 minus 1 by v1. Take here v1 v2 as LCM. In this term v1 v2 as LCM, then this equation becomes as delta E is equal to v1 square minus v2 square by 2z into q into LCM is v1 v2. So v1 v2 is in the denominator, and in the numerator it becomes as v1 minus v2. That is equation 6. So in the equation 5, y2 is equal to q by v2, y1 is equal to q by v1. Then we simplify the right hand side. From equation 5 we got the equation 6, delta E is equal to y1 square minus y2 square by 2z minus of q into v1 minus v2 by v1 v2. Now we are going to find out this small q. What is this value of small q? We know that in the rectangular channel hydraulic jump, q square by z or 2q square by z. 2q square by z is equal to y1 y2 into y2 plus y1. We discussed in the today's class also, that is in the hydraulic jump of rectangular channel, that is the relation. So we know that in that hydraulic jump of rectangular channel, 2q square by z is equal to y1 y2 into y2 plus y1. Check this right hand side. In the rectangular channel, y1 is equal to small q divided by v1, y2 is equal to small q divided by v2. So substitute those values of y1 y2 in the right hand side. This equation becomes as 2q square by z is equal to what is y1 q by v1, what is y2 q by v2 into what is y2 q by v2 plus what is y1 q by v1. So in the right hand side, substitute y1 is equal to q by v1, y2 is equal to q by v2. This right hand side becomes as q by v1 into q by v2 into q by v2 plus q by v1. Then simplify this right hand side first. Simplify this right hand side. What is this first two terms? Q into q square divided by v1 into v2. Then in the remaining two terms, take this small q common. If I take this small q common from the remaining two terms, this equation, this term becomes as q into 1 by v2 plus 1 by v1. So simplify this right hand side, q square by v1 v2 into q into 1 by v2 plus 1 by v1. Then so observe this modification please. Q square into q. Q square into q is q cube divided by v1 v2. So check this right hand side, q square into q cube divided by v1 v2. Then from this term take v1 v2 LCM. So in the denominator take this v1 v2 as LCM. Then this term becomes as v1 plus v2 divided by v1 v2. That is this remaining term, v1 plus v2 by v1 v2. So simplify this right hand side, q square into q cube divided by v1 v2 into take v1 v2 as LCM here. Then this term becomes as v1 plus v2 by v1 v2. That is this term. Then check this denominator, v1 v2 into v1 v2. So it is v1 square into v2 square into q cube. So cancel this q cube and q square on both sides. Cancel q square and q cube on both sides. Then this equation, entire equation becomes as 2 by z, because we cancel the q square and q cube. So this equation becomes as 2 by z is equal to, here q square is cancelled. So on the left side we have only 2 by z, and on the right side we have q divided by v1 into v2 into v1 into v2, v1 square into v2 square followed by v1 plus v2. So after the cancellation of this q cube and q square, then v1 v2 into v1 v2 is v1 square into v2 square. So from this equation you will get finally 2 by z is equal to q divided by v1 square into v2 square into v1 plus v2. From this equation small q is equal to, from this equation this small q is equal to 2 into v1 square into v2 square by z into v1 plus v2. That is the small q. So small q is equal to 2 into v1 square into v2 square divided by z into v1 plus v2. Substitute that equation 7 in the equation 6. Here in the equation 6 we have small q. So in the place of small q in the equation 6, substitute this equation 7. What is the small q in the equation 7? 2 into v1 square into v2 square by z into v1 plus v2. Then that equation 6 becomes as, substitute the equation 7 in the equation 6. Equation 6 becomes as delta E. Loss of energy is equal to v1 square minus v2 square by 2z minus of small q. What is the small q? 2 into v1 square into v2 square divided by z into v1 plus v2 into v1 minus v2 by v2 into v1. Cancel this v2 v1 in the numerator and denominator in the second term. Cancel this v1 v2 in the numerator and denominator in the second term. This second term, first term as it is, no change. First term as it is, this second term becomes as 2 into v1 v2, because we cancel v1 v2 in the numerator and denominator. So this second term becomes as 2 into v1 v2 divided by c into v1 minus v2 by v1 plus v2. So check this right hand side of this delta E. Delta E is equal to v1 square minus v2 square by 2z minus 2 into v1 v2 by z into v1 minus v2 by v1 plus v2. Check this denominator. Here in the denominator we have 2z in the first term, and in the second term we have z into v1 plus v2 in the second term. Check this denominator on the right hand side. In the first term the denominator is 2z. In the second term the denominator is g into v1 plus v2. So in this right hand side take 2z into v1 v2 as LCM. On the right hand side in the two terms, first term denominator is 2z, second term the denominator is z into v1 plus v2. So take in the right hand side 2z into v1 plus v2 as LCM. Then the numerator becomes as 2z into v1 plus v2 as LCM. Then the numerator becomes as v1 plus v2 into v1 square minus v2 square minus, here we have z into v1 plus v2, whereas the LCM is 2z into v1 plus v2. So this 2 coming to the second term. This 2 coming to the second term. So the second term becomes as 4, 2 into 2, 4, v1 v2 into v1 minus v2. So in the right hand side, this is important. In the right hand side, take 2z into v1 v2 as LCM. The second term has z into v1 plus v2. So in the denominator of this right hand side, take 2z into v1 plus v2 as LCM. The numerator becomes as delta E is equal to v1 plus v2 into v1 square minus v2 square minus 4 v2 v1 into v1 minus v2. Expand the numerator. So v1 into v1 square, v1 cube, v1 into minus v2 square, minus v1 v2 square, plus v1 into v2 plus v2 into v1 square. So plus v2 v1 square plus v2 into minus v2 square minus v2 cube. Then this remaining term 4 v2 v1 into v1 square minus 4 v2 v1 square. Then the second term minus 4 v2 v1 into minus v2. So it is plus 4 v2 square v1. So expand this right hand numerator in the right hand side. The delta E equation becomes as delta E is equal to v1 cube minus v1 v2 square plus v2 v1 square minus v2 cube minus 4 v2 v1 square plus 4 v1 v2 square. Simplify this numerator. So in the numerator we have minus 4 v2 v1 square followed by plus v2 v1 square. So check the two terms. It is plus v2 v1 square followed by minus 4 v2 v1 square. From the two terms you will get minus 3 v2 v1 square. And the other terms it is plus, it is minus v1 v2 square followed by plus 4 v1 v2 square. From these two terms, from the two terms you will get the final as plus 3 v1 v2 square. So simplify this numerator. Then the numerator becomes as v1 cube minus 3 v1 square v2 plus 3 v1 v2 square minus v2 cube. Check this numerator. The numerator is in the form of a minus b whole cube form. So a cube minus 3 a square b plus 3 ab square minus b cube. So this numerator is v1 minus v2 whole cube. So the equation of delta E, the loss of energy of water flow in the hydraulic jump in rectangular channel, delta E is equal to V1 minus V2 whole cube divided by 2Z into V1 plus V2. Just now we discussed delta E in terms of the depth of water flow. According to depth of water flow, delta E is equal to Y2 minus Y1 whole cube divided by 4 Y1 by 2. Then we discussed that energy loss delta E in terms of the velocity of water flow. In terms of that velocities, delta E is equal to V2 minus V1 minus V2 whole cube divided by 2Z into V1 plus V2. So like that, in hydraulic jump, for the loss of energy of water flow, we have two derivations. One is in terms of the depth of flow y, other one is in terms of the velocity of flow v. In terms of the depth of flow y1 y2, the loss of energy delta E is equal to y2 minus y1 whole cube divided by 4 y1 y2. In terms of the velocities v1 v2, the loss of energy delta E is equal to V1 minus V2 whole cube divided by 2Z into V1 plus V2. Dear students, please everyone compulsorily learn this derivation of delta E, either in terms of the depth of flow Y1 Y2 or in terms of the velocity of flow V1 V2. Because in the examination point of view, number of times in the semester examination, they are asking this derivation. Derive the energy loss expression in hydraulic jump in the rectangular channel. Sometimes they ask this expression in terms of the depth of flow y1 y2. Sometimes they ask this derivation in terms of the velocity of water flow v1 v2. Today morning I provided this entire unit 2 study material to you. I uploaded this study material in the engineering hydraulic engineering WhatsApp group. So please everyone download that PDF file. We have the complete study material in that PDF file. Learn the concepts of Unit 2 because Unit 2 is entirely important in hydraulic engineering. If you want to pass this subject in the first attempt, compulsorily study this hydraulic jump. I provide the complete material of hydraulic jump from number of textbooks. I referred at the minimum 8 textbooks to prepare this material of hydraulic jump. So I provided the complete material. On Sunday, I will also provide you the numerical problems in Unit 2. Please go through them. Please go through those numerical problems. Already I provided the numerical problems in Unit 1, 20 problems. Please go through them, read them. And on Sunday, I will provide the numerical problems in Unit 2 also. So this is the loss of energy of water flow in hydraulic jump in rectangular channel. One is in terms of the depth of flow y1 by 2. Next one is in terms of the velocity of flow v1 v2. With this, the loss of energy is completed. Then in the hydraulic jump, the next one is what is the height of the hydraulic jump, HF. Not energy loss, please. HF is not the energy loss. HF is the height of the hydraulic jump. So the hydraulic jump height is indicated as HF. What is that height of the hydraulic jump in the channel? So the height of the hydraulic jump is the difference of, please everyone follow this, the difference between the water levels, that is the depth of water flow. We know that before the hydraulic jump, the depth of water flow is y1 in the supercritical condition. After the hydraulic jump, the depth of water flow is y2 in the subcritical condition. The difference of y2 minus y1, the depth of water flow in the subcritical condition after the hydraulic jump minus the depth of water flow in the supercritical condition before the hydraulic jump. y2 minus y1 is called the height of the hydraulic jump. Definitely in the short answers questions, this may be asked in the examination. What is the height of the hydraulic jump? For the 2 marks questions, you may get this height of the hydraulic jump. The height of the hydraulic jump is the difference between the water depth after the hydraulic jump in the subcritical condition, that is y2, minus the water depth that is y1 before the hydraulic jump in supercritical condition. That is called the height of the hydraulic jump, y2 minus y1. Then the next one in hydraulic jump is length of the hydraulic jump. What is that length of hydraulic jump? We indicate that length of hydraulic jump as Lj. The length of hydraulic jump is defined as Lj. Check this diagram, please. Check this diagram. Here, the hydraulic jump is formed at the bottom of the spillway or at the bottom of the sluice gate. This is called the length of the hydraulic jump, Lj. Check that length of the hydraulic jump. The length of the hydraulic jump is horizontal distance. The length of hydraulic jump La is horizontal distance. That distance is measured from this ending of the supercritical flow. So here the supercritical flow ends. The supercritical flow gradually starting into hydraulic jump. This is called toe of hydraulic jump. The beginning of the hydraulic jump, toe. So the length of hydraulic jump is the horizontal distance measured from the toe of hydraulic jump. Toe indicates the place, the point where this supercritical flow changes into hydraulic jump. Then this distance is measured up to this end of the hydraulic jump. This is the location where the water flow converted as subcritical flow. This is the location where the supercritical flow changes as hydraulic jump. And this is the location where the water depth is in the subcritical condition up to that location. So from the toe of hydraulic jump, up to the beginning of the subcritical condition of water flow, this horizontal distance is called the length of the hydraulic jump. So the length of hydraulic jump is the horizontal distance measured from the toe of hydraulic jump up to that supercritical condition starts. So that horizontal distance is called the length of hydraulic jump based on the research, based on the observations. So many scientists across the world, they conducted lot of research in hydraulic jump, and based on their observations, they proposed one equation. To calculate this length of the hydraulic jump according to their research. Based on the hydraulic jumps, they proposed one equation. The length of the hydraulic jump Lj is equal to 5 to 7 times the height of the hydraulic jump Hj. So check this carefully. The length of the hydraulic jump Lj is equal to 5 to 7 times the height of the hydraulic jump Hj. This is based on the research conducted by so many scientists across the world on hydraulic jump. So in hydraulic jump, the length of the hydraulic jump is 5 to 7 times the height of the hydraulic jump. So this is about the length of the hydraulic jump Lj and the height of the hydraulic jump. You know that height of the hydraulic jump Hj is equal to y2 minus y1. So the length of the hydraulic jump is equal to 5 to 7 times the height of the hydraulic jump y2 minus y1. Then after that, in hydraulic jump, the next concept is types of hydraulic jump. What are the different types of hydraulic jumps formed either at the bottom of the spillway or at the bottom of the sluice gate or in general in the canals? Not only with spillways and sluice gate, sometimes if the slope of the canal changes suddenly, either from mild slope to steep slope or from steep slope to adverse slope, like that, if the slope of the canal changes at that portion also in canal, you can have this hydraulic jump. So we are going to discuss what are the different types of hydraulic jumps. You know that in hydraulic jump, we discuss the Froude's number in hydraulic jump. So in that y1 by y2 derivation, we discussed that y1 by y2 derivation. Similarly, y2 by y1 derivation in the previous classes. So at that time, in the discussion of y1 by y2 and y2 by y1, we discussed the Froude's number in hydraulic jump, FR1 and FR2. FR1 is the Froude number before the hydraulic jump. FR1 is equal to small q divided by root g into y1 cube. That is the equation of FR1, Froude's number before the hydraulic jump. After the hydraulic jump, FR2 is equal to small q divided by root g into by 2 cube. We discussed those hydraulic jump Froude's number in the previous classes, FR1 followed by FR2. Based on that FR1 value, that is the Froude number before the hydraulic jump FR1, small q divided by root g into y1 cube. Based on that FR1 Froude number before the hydraulic jump, we can classify the hydraulic jump in open channels into 5 categories. So please everyone follow these types of the hydraulic jump. The hydraulic jumps formed in the open channels are classified into 5 categories based on the Froude number FR1 before the hydraulic jump. So based on that Froude number FR1, you know that before the hydraulic jump the flow is in the supercritical condition. So the Froude number FR1 is in the supercritical condition. Based on this Froude number FR1 value, the hydraulic jump formed in the open channels classified into 5 categories. First one is angular hydraulic jump. So please everyone follow this angular hydraulic jump. In small open channels, if the water is released from the water tank, in your villages you have water tanks like cheruvulu. Most of you might observe this water tanks in the villages, cheruvulu. When the water is released from that water tank, ఆ చెరువుల నుంచి water release చేసినప్పుడు, when the water is coming out from that water tank, you can observe this small angular hydraulic jump just at the point of that water tank. ఆ చెరువుల నుంచి water వదిలినప్పుడు small quantity of water is released from the water tank. You can observe this angular hydraulic jump. That hydraulic jump is called angular hydraulic jump if the FR1 value, that is the Froude number before the hydraulic jump in supercritical condition, if that FR1 value is in between 1 to 1.7. So if the Froude number FR1 is greater than 1, less than or equal to 1.70, we call the hydraulic jump as angular hydraulic jump. Small up and downs are there in the water level. This up and downs indicates the formation of a small hydraulic jump in the canal. We call that as angular hydraulic jump. For that the Froude number FR1 is greater than 1, less than or equal to 1.7. In this angular hydraulic jump, there is no much loss of energy of water flow. Since it is a weak hydraulic jump, the loss of energy delta E is almost 0. So in this angular hydraulic jump, this ratio y2 by y1 is the depth of water flow before the hydraulic jump, y2 is the depth of water flow after the hydraulic jump. In the angular hydraulic jump, the ratio of y2 by y1 is very, very small, and in this hydraulic jump the loss of energy is almost negligible, 0. So delta E divided by E1. Delta E is the loss of energy in the hydraulic jump, E1 is the energy of water flow before the hydraulic jump. Delta E divided by E1 ratio in this angular hydraulic jump is almost 0. So this is the angular hydraulic jump formed in the open channel, a small portion of hydraulic jump, not bigger height, it is of very, very small height. We call this hydraulic jump as angular hydraulic jump if the Froude number FR1 is greater than 1 and it is less than or equal to 1.7. The second type of hydraulic jump is weak hydraulic jump. So just below the sluice gate, when small quantity of water released from the sluice gate, there is a rise in the water level in canal. This is the weak hydraulic jump formed in the open channel. This is called the weak hydraulic jump if the Froude number FR1 is greater than 1.7, less than or equal to 2.5. Whereas in the first case, angular hydraulic jump, Froude number FR1 greater than 1, less than or equal to 1.7. Whereas in the weak hydraulic jump, Froude number FR1 greater than 1.7, less than or equal to 2.05. This is the weak hydraulic jump condition. In that weak hydraulic jump, the Froude number is in between 1.7 to 2.5, and the energy loss in this hydraulic jump, when the Froude number is 1.7, the energy loss ratio delta E by E1 of this weak hydraulic jump at Froude number 1.7 is of 5%, and at a Froude number of 2.5 in this weak hydraulic jump, the energy loss ratio delta E by E1 is of 18%. So this is the weak hydraulic jump in the open channel, having that Froude number FR1 ratio between 1.7 to 2.5. At 1.7, the energy loss ratio is 5%. At 2.5, the energy loss ratio is 18%. So small hydraulic jump. It is also small hydraulic jump, but to some extent higher than the angular hydraulic jump. And the third one is oscillating hydraulic jump. This is formed in some medium channels, not the smaller open channels. In medium open channels, you can have this angular oscillating hydraulic jump. In oscillating hydraulic jump, the Froude number FR1 is in between 2.5 to 4.5. FR1 greater than 2.5 and FR1 less than or equal to 4.5. We can call that hydraulic jump in the open channel as a oscillating hydraulic jump. This hydraulic jump is having small portions of rotations, whereas in the first two hydraulic jumps, we don't have the rotations of water flow. In the angular hydraulic jump and also in the weak hydraulic jump, if you look those two diagrams of the angular hydraulic jump, only a small portion is there in the hydraulic jump, and in the angular hydraulic jump, there is no rotations. Whereas in the oscillating hydraulic jump, the entire portion of water in the hydraulic jump is having this rotatory motions, followed by some oscillatory motion also of water flow. So when the Froude number of hydraulic jump before the hydraulic jump is in between 2.5 to 4.5, we call that hydraulic jump as a oscillatory hydraulic jump. In oscillatory hydraulic jump at Froude number 4.5, the energy loss ratio is 45%. Delta E by E1 is of 45%. Then the fourth one is steady hydraulic jump. Steady hydraulic jump in the spillways, when the water is released from the dams and also in the major canals, you have this steady hydraulic jump. To some extent, major hydraulic jump, not that much higher hydraulic jump, but the steady hydraulic jump is also a major hydraulic jump with Froude number FR1 is in between 4.5 to 9. That is the range of Froude number FR1 for this steady hydraulic jump. If the FR1 is in between 4.5 to 9, we call that hydraulic jump is a steady hydraulic jump. In that steady hydraulic jump, the loss of energy at 4.5 is 45%. The energy loss ratio at 9 is 70% of loss of energy. So check this loss of energies from the first hydraulic jump, angular hydraulic jump, weak hydraulic jump. The third one is oscillatory hydraulic jump, and the fourth one is steady hydraulic jump. The loss of energy gradually increasing. Then the last one is strong hydraulic jump, especially when large quantity of water released from the dams. The Srisailam Dam has 14 gates. If all the gates are open, if all the gates of Srisailam Dam open, large water coming to the downstream side. Because of that opening of all gates at the downstream of the dam, we have this strong hydraulic jump. So the hydraulic jump formed at the bottom of the spillway when a large quantity of water released from the dams. And for this hydraulic jump, the Froude number FR1 is in between is more than 9. So check that ranges, please. For angular hydraulic jump, Froude number is in between 1 to 2.5. So from that, we are coming to this fifth one. For the strong hydraulic jump, FR1 greater than 9. And for this strong hydraulic jump, this energy ratio delta E by E1 is 70%. So like that, we have 5 types of hydraulic jumps open channels. First one is angular hydraulic jump, weak hydraulic jump, oscillating hydraulic jump, steady hydraulic jump, and strong hydraulic jump. Then what are the applications of hydraulic jump? Is there any practical applications? Yes, the applications are there for this hydraulic jump. First application, hydraulic jump reduces the energy of water flow. You know that in the hydraulic jump, the water flow undergoes to loss of energy. Since the hydraulic jump causes the loss of energy of water flow, this hydraulic jump reduces the damages at the bottom of the dams. Once the water is released from the dam, the water strikes the bottom of dam with large energy because that water is in supercritical condition. But due to formation of hydraulic jump, that water loses the energy. Due to formation of hydraulic jump, the water loses the energy. Since the water loses the energy because of this formation of hydraulic jump, the damage at the bottom of the dams reduces. That is one important application. Then the second one is the hydraulic jump causes the rise in the water level. Before the hydraulic jump, the water is in critical depth, the water is in supercritical condition, depth of flow y1 is smaller. After the hydraulic jump, the water is in subcritical condition, depth of flow y2 is larger. So the hydraulic jump causes the increase in the water level from y1 to y2. y2 is greater than y1. Once that water level after the hydraulic jump rises, you can use that water level for supply of water to the canals for irrigation purpose and also navigation purpose. So due to that hydraulic jump, there is a rise in the water level by hydraulic jump. Once that water level rises, you can use that water for irrigation and also for navigation purpose. And also third one is due to this hydraulic jump, we have one portion called aprons. These aprons are provided in the downstream of the dams. To protect the dam, we have the concrete slabs provided at the bottom of the dam, that is called aprons. Those aprons, the bottom of the apron subjected to soil pressures. The soil applies the pressure at the bottom of the apron. Because of the soil pressure, sometimes the aprons are subjected to damages. Once this hydraulic jump is formed on the apron, that hydraulic jump applies downward force on the apron, so it reduces the soil pressure on the aprons. So the aprons are not subjected to damages due to that soil pressure. So this hydraulic jump reduces the damage on the aprons due to soil pressures. Then the last one is it increases the discharge through sluice gate at the bottom, at the backside of the sluice gate. And the last one is in this hydraulic jump, we can use this hydraulic jump for mixing of chemicals to the water and also for mixing of some other fluids to the water. Since that hydraulic jump is a rotatory motion, lot of turbulence is there in the hydraulic jump, you can use that hydraulic jump for mixing of chemicals and also for mixing of some other fluids to the water. Sometimes for drinking purpose, when the water is supplied for the drinking purpose, we must mix the chlorine to the water. Then only the water is in good condition by mixing that chemical. So at the location of hydraulic jump, if you mix the chlorine to the water, that chlorine is totally mixed with water at the location of hydraulic jump. Similarly, some fluids are mixed to the water for drinking purpose. So at the location of hydraulic jump, if you mix those fluids, since the hydraulic jump is a lot of turbulence, that fluid is totally mixed with water. So these are all the applications of hydraulic jump, some of the applications. So with this, the unit 2 is completed. I provide the material, study material of unit 2 to you. Please go through them. On Sunday, I will provide the study that numerical problems in unit 2. Okay, students, with this, I am going to stop the today's class. Thanks to one and all for resigning the class. So with this, the unit 2 is completed. And in the next class, we will discuss the unit 3 in hydraulic engineering. So with this, you please leave from the class and join the next class.